Day 4. Day 4. Medical Medium Brain Shot Therapy Cleanse Challenge. Woo! You guys, EMF and 5G exposure. Woo! Let's get all the devices out. Nice. You guys, exciting time. We're doing it. EMF and 5G exposure shot. Got my ingredients here. I got my Brain Saver books. What about you guys? Here we are. Right there. Brain Saver. Greatest books in history. Hands down. I can have my own opinion because it came from above. I can judge it just like anybody else. But you will be blown off your seat when you're reading what's in these books. And we're in the Brain Shot Therapy Challenge, which is incredible. Do you guys see it? Do you guys read the lines? Do you read the lines in these books and between the lines and all around through these books? Packed with information. Incredible, really. And today it's the EMF 5G exposure shot. That's the one we're doing. Let's take a look. Let's get there now. You guys doing, work on your devices. You're on your computers. You're on your phones. That's what I am. I'm doing it all day long, every day, man. And that's the whole thing. So let's go. Let's take a look. Here it is. EMF 5G exposure shot right there. So you just entered the Medical Medium Brain Shot Therapy Cleanse Challenge Day 4. If you're unaware of what's going on, stick around so you can learn because it's going to be exciting. There's so much information here. It's really incredible all on its own. So the EMF 5G exposure shot, let's talk about that for a little bit. Ready? Okay. Try this shot if you spend a lot of time on computers and computerized devices. So you do this shot if you spend a lot of time on computers and computerized devices. Right? So that's that. Okay, how about this one? Live near a high voltage area. Does anybody live near a high voltage area? Most people do. Most people do, right? So let's see what else we got too here, right? All right. We got, how about this one? Spending time talking or texting on cell phones. Are you guys doing that? Spending time talking, texting on cell phones, right? Got my cell phone right here. And I'm doing it all the time. I'm like, I got the phone. I even don't put your phone to your ear. I like it on speakerphone, but I'll even put the phone to my ear all the time. I mean, I will do that. But I have this EMF and 5G exposure shot is what I have. Okay. Traveling by plane. Is anybody traveling by plane? That's a whole nother one all on its own. So anybody traveling by plane, right? That's another thing too. Live or work close to others while they're using devices. So you live with people that are using their devices. You're living with people that are actually using their devices. So that's another thing too. You're always around them. They're always using their devices, right? The whole bit. Okay. Spend your day within several feet of a router. How about that one? So spending your day within several feet from a router. Living near a cell tower, and at this point now, we're all living near cell towers. It's very few of us that are kind of so far from a cell tower, but get this. If the cell tower can reach your phone or your devices, it doesn't really matter too much how far that cell tower is away, right? So that's something right there to actually be concerned about all on its own, all right? So we got that. So we're doing the EMF and 5G exposure shot. Now here's the thing. This is going to be really exciting because it's that powerful, and the Medical Medium Brain Shot therapies are giving people direct relief, which is incredible, instant relief. So let's go and look around here for another little spot to talk about. So Medical Medium Brain Shot Therapy, that's where we are now. So we're in the actual, we're just moving through here, you guys. These are big books, a lot of information. So medical medium brain shot therapy. So here's what's incredible about it. That's exactly where I was a minute ago. So here we are. Your brain and body have a quick response to the liquid aspect, the highly absorbable rate of what's happening when you take these shots. It goes right into your blood vessels, right into the nerves, right into the bloodstream. Fast, quick. That's part of how they work. But that's part of the incredible magic of how they work. So it's quick delivery right into the blood vessels, right into the bloodstream, which is absolutely incredible all on its own. Medical medium brain shot therapy is uncharted territory, never been done before. No one has tried this because they won't know. Science can't figure this out. Food science can't figure this out. Nobody can figure this information out. It comes from above. I would never be able to figure this out. These work. They offer instant relief because the information's coming from above, because no one would know to put potato with celery and parsley together in a certain level of ingredients, in the combination, in the order they are, to make it work so it stops EMF from affecting you and 5G from affecting you. And that's what's incredible. We would never know. It's not possible. There's not going to be trillions of dollars invested in scientists trying to figure out putting these three together to create this. That's what's incredible all on its own. Anthony, people at work told me I look more calm. Must be the medical medium brain shots, which leads to another interesting piece of information right here. Many people don't know what issues they have within. Like, we walk around, we're not really sure what's going on and why we're dealing with so many problems, right? They don't know what's broken inside of them, like what's broken that needs to be fixed. So with medical medium brain shot therapy, you don't need to know what's wrong for these shots to help you. That's the whole point. You can do these shots and then something happens later. Like, wait a minute, I'm more calm. Or wait a minute, I'm thinking better. Or wait a minute, I'm stronger feeling. Wait a minute, I have more energy. Wait a minute, I don't need to nap. Wait a minute, I'm like going strong all day. Oh wait, I'm not thinking obsessive thoughts. Or hold on a second, something's shifting, something's changing in me. And it's like all these things happen. So with the medical medium brain shot therapy, you don't need to know what's wrong for these shots to actually help you. That right there is mind-blowing. These shots will find a way to help you. That's what's incredible about it. You take the medical medium brain shots, they find a way to help you. How powerful is that? And it's almost like just send the shots down and let them find their way if we don't know why we need them. That's one reason why the medical medium brain shot therapy cleanses, some of which methodically take you through the different brain shots, can be such a revelation. That's the whole point. These shots are like revelations for so many people. You take the shots, and if you do them every day, or you choose to do a different shot each day or stay on one, revelations happen, epiphanies happen. Things it comes to you. It's like, oh my God, look what's going on. That's the magical, incredible, angelic power of all of it. It's like working with the light when you're working with the brain shot therapies. With medical medium brain shot therapy, however you decide to use it, you venture into uncharted territory with your healing, and that's another incredible thing. Aisling says, I made this shot this morning and it surprised me. Made me feel very peaceful immediately, and I felt more relaxed doing work on my laptop after. Well, that's the thing. I'm using this brain shot we're doing right now because I'm sitting there on my computers, on my devices, right? I'm on my phone, like on and off all day long. And I'm using this shot every day. Ellie says, I was so surprised to see raw potatoes in the recipe. Would have never guessed it. I would have never guessed it. No one, I don't think, would ever have guessed it because it's information that comes from above. Like, we don't know. And that's what's incredible about it. MV Doom says, after yesterday, my mind was my own more than usual. I wasn't so into fretting about anything or everything. Well, that's the obsessive thought shifter. That was a powerful one. God, that one hit me real nice and real hard. It was like incredible. When I took that one down, I was just like, whoa. The rest of the day, I was feeling it. I did another one later on, and then I did one last night, and I was like, and here's what's crazy. They build upon themselves. They build upon like each one. Like they even get stronger or something. It's so different than what anybody would expect. I thought that raw potato was poisonous. No, it's not poisonous. So I hope that clears that up for you, the misinformation that's out there. It's not your fault you think raw potato is poisonous. That's the misinformation out there. It's really incredible. So when it comes to these medical medium brain shots, it's good to explore. There's 30 different brain shot therapies. You can do one a day for 30 days. You could do it for 10 days. You can explore. It's so exciting. Sinette says, the grief shot helped me. I lost my 23-year-old son to fentanyl poison. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Truly, truly. I hear that's happening a lot out there. It just kills me. It just breaks my heart. And I'm so happy that you found a little bit of peace in the shot. You know, the thing is about the brain shot therapies is that when Spirit of Compassion was giving me that information, it was all about like what people need in the moment to give them relief for their suffering. Great suffering that so many people are living with right now. And these shots are for people who are they're just really in that place of struggle and suffering, great loss. Renata says, following your shots and happy to tell, I got so much energy. Thank you, AW and SOC. That makes me happy because energy is something that we feel like we're losing these days. So many people are in a loss of energy, struggling with energy, and that's amazing. I'm so glad you're getting that right there. All that counts. It's so important. Medical medium brain shot therapy is uncharted territory, like I was saying before, never been done ever. In our history, these books are making history right now. They're the greatest books of all time. Judge for yourself. Get them in your hands. You guys, you could still sign up to the Brain Shot Therapy Challenge. Don't feel like you're missing out. It's a free challenge. If you just came on here and you're like, where am I? You're at the Medical Medium Brain Shot Therapy Challenge. medicalmedium.com. We're day 4. Go to medicalmedium.com and get your free grocery shopping list and the information you need so you can do this challenge. We're only day 4. We're going 10 days. And every day is just incredible and powerful, but we're only day 4. So really, it's exciting. So sign up if you get a chance. Check out the MM1500 too when you get a chance. And before we move on, I want to say something about the MM1500. What I'm seeing out there, and it's kind of sad, is, see, I can't sit there every day and tell everybody about the juicers. I don't have time. So I can't, it's been months, I think, since I even talked about them. And the problem is with that is that other juicers, companies, they'll advertise to the medical medium communities and they'll sell them crappy juicers that will not save them money. And it breaks my heart. They'll sell them juicers that have like spinning things in them and baskets and all that stuff. And what happens is that if you want to save money for the future, because food prices are going up, look into the MM1500, look into the MM900, because it squeezes all the juice, like almost every bit of that juice gets squeezed out. So when I make the shots, I'm using less. The problem is with the juicers that are like the juicer companies that are breaking into the medical medium communities to try to, run ads and basically sell their juicers because they know that this is the place to be, because all the sharks out there know that this is the place to be. They'll sell you a juicer that doesn't save you money and doesn't pay for itself. It breaks my heart, but I can't sit there and be the juicer guy where I'm trying to show you guys a juicer every single day of my life. I can't. I have to work. I have to get you the information in the books and everything else. I can't be the juicer guy, trying to show you a juicer every day so you don't get ripped off out there. So what I'm trying to say is, when it's the MM1500, if you already have a juicer, fine, but I'm saying this for people that are actually getting suckered into buying juicers that won't give them all the maximum juice. It kills me, because it's like, okay, food costs money, these ingredients cost money. And what's happening is, with these juicers, not all omega juicers, the MM1500, it has a compression to it and squeezes more juice out of it so that you get more shots for your money, you're buying less produce for more shots, less celery for more celery juice. I don't want to sit here and talk about a juicer all day, but I have because we have so much to cover. But I'm trying to tell you guys that the sharks got into the medical medium community and they scam everybody, and then you lose money and produce is going up and you're juicing and losing all your juice, and it's breaking my heart. I had to say it. I have to. But someday, if you save up, it's no big deal. This is 20% off though. Someday, if you get a 1500 or a 900, MM900, 1500, you can save so much money. It's paid for itself and paid for itself and paid for itself over and over again. I don't even know what to say. Let's see, Sunny says, yeah, my juicer only made one and so much was wasted. Exactly, but here's the thing. The sharks have come into the communities. If you guys can just be aware of this, I can't keep track of it all. I can't protect everybody. I'm trying. But the sharks get in and they're going to sell you these juicers, and everybody's going to be using these juicers and throwing all their ingredients out, all their stuff. Like, they're going to need so much more, and it's going to cost them so much money. Doodle Love says, I find it so funny when I see sharks bashing you, but then right after they bash, they parrot your info. Oh my God, that's all they do out there. They all try to step on me, and then they take the information. I wish I could say names right now, but I'm not that mean of a person where I can, you know what I mean? But I wish I could give you all the podcast doctor names and everybody of what they've done and what they do. Meanwhile, we're the community that's getting people better. It's actually psycho. Meg says, I have noticed my celery bunch goes further since I bought the MM1500. Exactly. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, and this is critical, the sharks have come in with juicer companies and ads. They're trying to poach the whole medical medium community. Everybody's buying these juicers that are different. They're like the spinner things and this and things and all that in it, right? And what's happening, love my Omega MM1500, Chloe, amazing. What's happening is you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money. You need your juicer to pay for yourself. You need your juicer to work for you. I'm just being honest. And that's what happens. The juicer works for me. The juicer works for you. Meaning it's there to save you money so it pays for itself. If you buy juicers that are, they're all trying to bust into the medical medium community and go on the juicer ride and just poach all the people and sell them juicers. So if you already got suckered and tricked, think about in the future, maybe you correct the mistake later down the road or whatever, you know? And when you're making these shots and juicing your celery, you're going to lose so much money on those juicers. That's what I've learned because I've tried them all. I know the ones that people have, and still they don't compare to the compression and the MM1500 and 900. I have to say this because I guess I got lazy with the juicers in a sense where I've been too busy trying to get the book done, too busy trying to get everything done, and I can't keep up with everything because I assume everybody knows these are the best. But then all of a sudden, the sharks come in and everybody gets taken, and then they're spending this much more for their produce, and it's unfair, and it's ripping them off, and it makes me sick. That's so sad. So anyway, let's move on to it. 5G EMF shot. I'm excited. So the brain shot therapy is about that absorption. It's also about the ingredients being put together. All of it, that's critical. Really incredible, the whole process. So let's go into some info really quick, you guys. So I'm in Brain Saver right here. Okay, these are the two books. Do you have one? And I'm in this little section here called Coexisting with Electricity. So I'm in the EMF chapter. Here's the incredible thing about the Brain Saver books, right? It's EMF information nobody knows about. EMF information nobody knows about. I'm saying that because everybody in the EMF world thinks they got it down and thinks they know everything about EMF. So if you look out there, it's like almost like you think it's all figured out about EMF. It's not. That's the incredible thing about Spirit of Compassion. That's the incredible thing about the Brain Saver books. Information that's unique and brand new, original, powerful, comes from above. And the EMF people, once they get their hands on this, are going to be parroting it and not citing it back. So the new information about EMF, and I've put EMF information out there in the last 20 years and 30 years. So some of that is already out that was originally from MM, right? we're doing it again. We're putting original EMF information out there. And once again, it will be stolen shortly and then put out there as if it's been known or something. So let's go into it. Coexisting with electricity. When it comes to electromagnetic fields, check this out. Our brains can actually adapt to certain electrical currents that are around us in the last 100 years. Our brain, science doesn't know this, EMF people don't know it, our brain adapts to EMF, certain EMF. So we actually adapt to EMF. Not always, but check this out, incredible information. So when it comes to electromagnetic fields, our brains can actually adapt to certain electrical currents that are around us in the last 100 years. So when electricity happened and everybody's homes got electricity, we've been able to adapt to those electrical currents. Really important to know, and the EMF people don't know this. Our brains have indeed adapted to EMF produced from electricity. So our brains have adapted to EMF produced by electricity. Electrical wiring, buildings, electrical panels, and appliances such as dishwashers, refrigerators, ovens, stoves. Do you guys have dishwashers? Do you guys have refrigerators? Do you have stoves? Do you have ovens? So our brain has adapted to electrical wiring, buildings, electrical panels, appliances, dishwashers, refrigerators, ovens, stoves, electric cars, lights, power strips, and surge protectors, and air conditioners, heaters, washing machines, and dryers. Our brain in the last 100 years has learned to adapt with electrical currents out of all those things. Information unknown to anyone right now in history, you're getting out of this book right now. And it's mind-blowing. But there's some, we're not done. We ain't done. With this form of EMF, we've adapted in such a way that when the power is out, even if the temperature is comfortable, many people tend to go through mad withdrawal. Unknown to research and science, unknown to the EMF crowd, experts, unknown to the scientists, that when we lose power in our home, apartment, house, building, we start going mad with withdrawal. Critical to know. We start losing it when we lose our power. We've adapted to power in the last 100 years to such a degree that we start losing it without power. And if you think you know somebody like, oh, I know a dude that camps out in the desert, he's got no power, he's got a truck. Most likely he's got a truck, and he's in that truck once in a while getting his power fix. Getting his power fix. So if you're like, oh no, I know people, just this cool crowd that hangs out in the desert and they're just around a fire and they're just like off the grid and they got no power around them. They find power periodically and they get a fix. Because the withdrawal can make you go mad. We've had 100 years of adapting to power, to electricity. Is this not mind-blowing? When I heard that from Spirit of Compassion in my office when I was writing that down, I think that was a moment when it was like 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was feverishly writing the information and trying to get it right, making sure every word was correct, and then throwing it back at Spirit of Compassion, saying, is that correct? Is that what you said? And then writing it. And the information that came through was our brains and our children, babies in the womb, in everyone, for 100 years has adapted to electrical magnetic fields with electricity, to appliances, to everything I just mentioned in here earlier. If you just got here, watch this from the beginning. It's mind-blowing. And so when we lose our power, we don't feel peaceful. Maybe for a little bit, but that peacefulness starts to wear off and we start going mad with power withdrawal. And that's why even people who are like, they try to live off the grid long enough, they're still back in their truck And they're still using their LED lights. And they're still doing things because they draw from it because they can't handle it fully. So Danny says, we have this in South Africa. It's called load shedding. The city cuts out power to save money, and you can feel the difference when the power is no more anywhere. You feel the difference. You feel the withdrawal, right? And I almost think the energy companies are just doing it to just mess with us because they know we probably react, but they don't know what it is. Shavina says, oh my God, I always wondered why I'm so stressed when the power goes out, even when I juiced all my juices for the day and everything is okay. And you're sitting there and you're like, okay, the power's out, but it's only going to be out for a little while. But you actually get really upset, right? Because we're going through withdrawal. Nobody knows this information. It's brand new. It's getting out now. It's in these Brain Saver books, but the Brain Saver books are packed like that. It's all incredible. But either way, this is the first time this is getting out in the world. Nobody knew. We've adapted to that electricity for 100 years. Babies included, babies in the womb, pregnant moms, all of it, and we're just born into it. We've adapted and we're born into it. And when that power goes out, we lose that power. We go through withdrawal and can even go mad at certain points, depending how long that withdrawal lasts. With this form of EMF, we've adapted in such a way that when the power is out, even if the temperature is comfortable, like you're saying, and everything's okay, you got your juices done, everything's great, you go through withdrawal. It's not withdrawal from having the luxury of an appliance. Here's another thing all on its own. So it's not withdrawal from having being without the luxury of an appliance of some kind. It's not that. It's withdrawal from the EMF itself. So it's actual EMF withdrawal. That's what we go through when the power's out. That's incredible because our brains have learned to coexist with this type of EMF. So here's the whole point. Our brains have learned to coexist with this variety of EMF. So when it's gone, we're going through it. It's like a drug. So it's almost like we've been drugged for 100 years with this type of EMF and electricity. And then when it's pulled from us, you guys, you feel it. Sandy says, I'd get upset when power goes out. I thought it was internet withdrawal. Nope, it's electricity withdrawal. That's the main thing right there. Herbal Ministry said, I tried explaining that to a doctor once and they had no idea what I was talking about. Okay, you ready? Because it only gets more intense. As you know well in this book, like the brain story, if you guys read this, our brain is made out of electricity. Think about that. Our brain is made out of electricity, you guys. Just letting you know. While it's not the same electricity that powers our homes and appliances, get ready. Our brain's electricity has learned to coexist with this EMF emitting from all this outside electricity so that our brain can continue to function optimally. So check this out. Our brain has adapted because if it didn't, our brains would not work anymore. It had to coexist with the electricity that's around us. I don't know. Is it just me or is it's blowing, all this information's blowing my mind. All this information's blowing my mind. But is it blowing yours? Or is it just all in it's just me being too excited or something? Okay. When you head to a spiritual retreat, when you head to a spiritual retreat in a shack that has no electricity, or you sit in an open field with no electrical conveniences nearby, it's an experience. You're going through withdrawal. You go to a retreat and you're like, so nice out here. I'm with like-minded people. We're just talking. We're sitting around a campfire right now, breathing in all that smoke, which isn't a good idea. It's a totally bad idea, by the way. But either way, we're out here and you're going through withdrawal. And your brain is learning to adjust and live without the EMF. So your spiritual retreat that so many people go on is really, without them realizing this, is about them living without EMF and their brain's coexistence with it. Tell me that's not unbelievable. Sila Music says, is this why my neighbors always argue and yell when the power goes out? I mean, I don't know your neighbors, but I can definitely bet that there's a good chance that it's happening because of that. Now, coexisting with the everyday, let me just ask Spirit of Compassion. Yes, they argue anyway. Spirit of Compassion just said to me, your neighbors argue anyway, and they have fights anyway, but when the power goes out, the fights amplify, Spirit of Compassion just said. So Spirit's saying they have fights anyway. I don't know if I don't know if I've done this with you guys like this, but it's actually, I try not to do this. So I'm asking Spirit of Compassion. One starts the fights more than the other. And it happens like every Sunday they get into a fight. But when the power goes out, it just amplifies because of the withdrawal. So that's what Spirit of Compassion just said. But I'm not spying. I don't know where your neighbors are. I'm not spying. I'm just helping you with your question. Now, coexisting with the everyday electricity around us is one thing. Let's not confuse that with the EMF emitting from dangerous high voltage scenarios. So here's another thing. This is the EMF that we live around every single day, but I don't want you to be confused with a dangerous high voltage EMF situation that's at a base station. So don't confuse that base station with what we're talking about. We're talking about appliances, your house, your apartment, power going out, the coexistence of you and that EMF, your brain and that EMF. That's different than pulling up to one of those power stations with all that power crap going on and boom, that high voltage shooting out. That's another story. We're not adapted for that. That can affect somebody different. Okay, get ready for this. This next section is just incredible. If you thought that was incredible, this next section is incredible. And I'm on page 240 of Brain Saver. You guys just came on here. You guys got to get the Brain Saver books when you get a chance. Then there's radio frequency EMF, which is more aggressive than regular EMF. Radio frequency EMF is more aggressive than regular EMF. With radio frequency EMF, we're no longer talking about simple electricity being used to power an appliance. So radio frequency EMF is not about an appliance running or your electricity in your home. We're talking about devices such as computers and cell phones interacting with wireless internet and cell towers. That's what we're talking about now. Hello? Hello? Don't put the phone right up against my head? Okay, what should I do? Put on speaker? All right, is that better? So we're talking about devices such as computers and cell phones interacting with wireless internet and cell towers. These are radio frequency EMFs. A lot different, you guys. Danny says, love this. Celia Music said, well, now I know the truth. Other sources of radio frequency EMF include microwaves, smart devices, and radar facilities. That's an entirely different situation. That's something we have not adapted to. There's even cell tower exposure when you're not using your phone. You can shut down your phone and shut off your phone, and those radio frequencies are still there. So people say, well, I'm not going to have a phone in my life. I'm just going to throw my phone out. I'm just going to shut it down. You're still going to get hit with the radio frequencies every day because we can't avoid those cell towers. They're going through our houses. They're going through our apartments. They're going through our dwellings. They're just going through, right? So we're getting exposure that way anyway. These radio frequencies coming from cell towers enter our brain and hit our neurons. So check this out. You don't have to be on your computer. You don't have to be on your iPad and whatever, your phone. You don't have to be on that. You're still getting hit with the radio frequencies. It's still going to come from the cell towers and be hitting your brain. That's just how it is here on planet Earth right now. This is what it is here on planet Earth. I'm just letting you know. Like, that's what planet Earth is now. So there's even cell tower exposure when you're not using your phone. You can shut down your phone, your devices. The radio frequencies are still there, traveling through every single home and office building. Susan said the cats get weird when the power goes out. They too have to adapt to electricity for 100 years. Exactly. Sue said, can you please describe what the withdrawal symptoms are like? I will in a couple of minutes. That's a great question. So we're getting exposure that way. Now here's the thing. These radio frequencies coming from cell towers enter our brain and hit our neurons. This exposure is a bit more aggressive than your typical appliances inside your house. So this is different. People think it's the electricity inside their house that's giving them EMF problems, really. When it's really just, it's radio frequencies shooting through their home from their cell towers, whether you have a device or not. That's why I love this shot we're doing. If you just came on here, we're talking about 5G, we're talking about EMF, we're talking about that stuff. And this is a radiation chapter too. Wait till you read this whole chapter and read about radiation. It's insane. Yet as aggressive as cell tower exposure is, it is not as harmful as other forms of radio frequency EMF exposure that we'll get into in a moment. So let's just talk about this. I'm saying about the cell tower stuff, but even though that's harmful, it's still not as harmful as other things. Still harmful. And you can toss your devices in the garbage. It's not going to change a thing. That cell tower radio frequency is beaming through everybody's house and apartment and dwelling everywhere. You can't stop it. It's not about your device or not. Throw all your devices down the street, down the road, whatever, in a pond, in a lake. It's still going to be the same radio frequency going into your house all day long. Irina says, this information is so unique, it can only be from above. True, because I am not a genius, and a genius can't come up with this information. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Thank you, Irina. You guys know I'm not a smart guy. I never went to college. I never went to whatever, right? I mean, but you know what it is? I'm a good listener. I can take down the information given to me word for word, and then I have to learn it just like everybody else. I have to become my own expert, just like you guys have to become your own expert with the Medical Medium books. I'm just a messenger. People parrot that now too, by the way. Or I don't know what it was. Someone was telling me that there's this influencer dude. He's got a really big ego. And he's out there selling his supplements and all this other crap or whatever he's doing. He's got a huge ego. And now he's saying, I'm the messenger. I'm a messenger. He's just taking like everything from Medical Medium. It's like, you're not a messenger. You don't know what a messenger is, dude. Anyway, you would be mind blown how much info in the health field today that comes from Medical Medium, like SOC and Spirit of Compassion, that's out there now. So you think about it, all the new information I keep on putting out, so many people don't even realize it's from my information or SOC from 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You wouldn't believe how bleak the alternative health movement was 35 years ago. It was literally a desert. It was dry. It was bleak. There was nothing there. I had to put so much out there and so much out there. Taught doctors, taught people, taught health practitioners, taught thousands of people, lectured, traveled, did it, and got the information out there. There's so much info that's out there now. People don't even realize where it came from. I've been doing this for over 35 years. All right, let's go into the crazy place on this. That's just unbelievable, right? Okay. So we're getting exposure. Yet, okay, here we are. In recent years, our brains have been learning to adapt to cell tower EMF because of radio frequencies we're exposed to from the military. So in recent years, our brains have been learning to adapt to cell tower EMF because of radio frequencies we're exposed to from military. military bases, including classified military bases around the world, send out radio frequencies that travel across the planet and away from our planet into the atmosphere. This has been developing since the 1930s. So our brains and neurons have been learning to adapt. So our brains and neurons they've already been learning to adapt to certain radio frequencies because they've had to, because of the military radio frequencies that have been happening since the 1930s. It's interesting. Get ready for this. Our present day cell towers are more aggressive than old school radio frequencies that also still exist, by the way. Whether 5G now or 6X. 6X. See, what's happening is, Spirit of Compassion told me that where they're going to go after 5G is they're going to call it 6X. SOC gave me that incredible information. It's going to be named 6X. And you know what X stands for, right? 6. So, in the future, but you know what? They'll probably change it now. Because they're not going to want to, make the prophecies come true in every angle, right? So they'll probably better not let, SOC get that prophecy. So, whether 5G now or 6X in the future, transmission technology continues to send stronger signals. Still, these towers' mere presence is not totally where the threat lies when we're talking about EMF exposure and the possibility of compromising our brain health. So what I'm saying is, even with all that, that's not where the main problems are. Okay. Still, these towers' mere presence is not totally where the threat lies. As I was saying, again, our brains are learning to adapt to cell tower waves moving through the environment. What we haven't adapted to is using a device that's connected to a cell tower. We have not adapted to using a device connected to a cell tower. When our cell phone is turned on, and especially if we're using the phone, there's additional radio frequency coming to our phone, and that's additional radio frequency to which we have not adapted, is why there is an EMF and 5G shot right here on the table. That's why you see the 3 ingredients. That's why it's in the book, because there's some things that we don't adapt to. And that's when we need that EMF and 5G shot. You guys should tell people about these books. Let them know. Get the word out there about these 2 Brain Saver books if you feel up to it. Because I know a lot of you guys don't feel good and you got enough on your plate. I understand. When your cell phone is off, my cell phone is on airplane right now. But when your cell phone is off, where you turn it off. Do you guys find this interesting, or am I boring you guys? I hope I'm not boring you guys. Am I boring you guys about all this EMF crap and all this 5G stuff? Because I feel bad if I'm boring you guys. All right. Oh, halftime intermission. Who wants to do the robot with me? All right. Whew, that's fun. Lightens up everything. We're in EMF. We're in the 5G exposure shot right here. Excited? Love the robot. You guys doing the robot? So okay, let's go into this. Look, when our cell... Okay, you ready? This is good. What we haven't adapted to is using a device that's connected to the cell tower. When our cell phone is turned on, and especially if we're using the phone, there's additional radio frequency coming to our phone. So You shut your phone off, put your phone somewhere, there's still radio frequencies coming from the cell tower. And they're just going right through the house, right through the apartment, and they're hitting us, okay? They're hitting us. So, all right, let's find our spot. All right, when your cell phone is off, that pinpoint radio frequency EMF has dissipated. Pinpoint is what I'm talking about. So here's how it works. Your cell phone's off. You're not getting pinpoint radio frequencies coming from the cell tower when your cell phone's off. You're getting general, overall radio frequency. Still beaming through the home. You turn on your phone, now it's pinpoint. See the difference? You're getting pinpoint. That pinpoint radio frequency is dissipated, and now you're back to being surrounded by the radio frequency everyone is surrounded by, unless you're totally off the grid, living on the side of a mountain with no cell towers for many miles. And then if you're living on the side of a mountain and there's no cell tower for many miles, you're going to get very little of that cell tower frequency, but you're never going to be able to use a phone or a device ever. You guys, I'm getting this incredible information from the Brain Saver books right here. A lot of new people coming on, and they're like, what's a brain shot, man? Hey, this dude's kind of wacky. What's a brain shot therapy? What's the Brain Saver books? Should I get one? So there we go. I just came back from a retreat, man. All I know is I went batshit crazy after being there for about 5 days, and I had to run into the town and get some snacks at the gas station. I felt so much better when I was standing in the gas station. Is that because there was power at the gas station? Okay, you guys, see, these are the books right here. Check out. All right, let's keep on going here. The pinpointed radio frequency that comes to a device when it's connected to a cellular network is why, when using a cell phone, it's important not to have it pressed up to your ear. That's why you don't want it pressed up to your ear. That's the whole point. You can press it up to your ear if your phone is off. You can press your phone to your ear when your phone's on, but that's a different story. Like the radiation, that's a different story, and I talk about that in this book. But here's the thing. When you're on a phone call, you don't want to press the phone to your ear because it's pinpoint cell tower. It's a pinpoint cell tower hit. That's the difference right there. If you have your phone off and you press it to your ear, no big deal. If you have your cell phone on and you press it to your ear, you get a little radiation I talk about in the books. But here's the thing. If you have your cell phone with a call, you're getting a call. Hey, Mac, I want to talk to you. And you put it to your ear. Now you're getting a direct pinpoint to your brain coming from the cell tower. That's the difference right there. So you want to talk to somebody on speakerphone and you want to have your phone away so that the pinpoint goes to your hand. So the pinpoint goes to your hand. You see what I mean? You guys, we haven't even done the EMF shot, but I can't wait to do that EMF shot. Hopefully, it tastes good because these shots, they're about results, and some of them don't taste as great because it's medicine. You guys got to read the rest of the book. I'm scratching the surface in here. I didn't finish this section, but I want you to know you can read the rest of the book. I didn't even finish the section. And the books are just both books you want to get because they're one book. So make sure you get both books. And sale on Amazon.com, 40% off right now, US. All right, let's go. So we're in the brain shot therapy. You guys, we're doing entry-level brain shot therapy cleanse. We're doing 10 days. This is day 4. This is the entry-level brain shot therapy cleanse. Make sure you're drinking 50 ounces of water through the course of the day. Don't drink the 50 ounces right when you send down your brain shot. So when you send down your brain shot, don't drink the 50 ounces right then too at the same time. So don't do that, right? Like, don't wash it down with water. You do your 50 ounces throughout the day, the minimum 50 ounces of water throughout the day. This is your entry-level brain shot therapy cleanse. For this challenge, though, we're doing 1 to 3 shots. You can choose to do 1 shot a day. I'm doing 3 shots a day. I did 3 obsessive thought shifters yesterday. I'm doing 3 EMF and 5G exposure shots today. Use the same shot. That would be amazing. So it would be EMF and 5G brain shot therapy 3 times. Use the same one. Incredible. All right. Let's talk about this for a little bit. You can choose 10 days, 20 days, 30 days in the entry-level cleanse. I am doing a 10-day brain shot therapy cleanse challenge with you guys. It's 10 days. We're day 4. Okay. We're moving along. Amazing. So much incredible information. Okay. These cleanses are imperative to what we're up against today. EMF and 5G is an example right there. These are important. The brain shot therapy cleanses go just beyond the physical. They hit the metaphysical. That's the whole point. It's doing both. This is allowing us to achieve enlightenment when we're getting rid of the stuff that shouldn't be in our brain. We're protecting our brain and we're healing our soul. That's how we achieve enlightenment. That's one of the biggest ways of doing it. It's huge, right? Removing poisons from our brain opens up that door, which is really incredible. Now, here's the other thing that happens with the medical medium brain shot therapies, and you guys are going to see this. Your intuitive skills, your clairvoyant skills, your telepathic skills, your skills as being a seer start to develop. So if they're in there in you, they start to get enhanced. I'm letting you know. So if as you're doing the brain shot therapy cleanses, like we're doing this 10-day one, that clairvoyant power, that skill, that telepathic, psychic, intuitive skill starts to build on itself as well. Now, here's the whole thing with the brain shots. They build on themselves as well, too. Not just your abilities of brain healing, but everything, which is really incredible. So we're in the exposure shots. EMF and 5G is an exposure shot. And we are in the exposure shots right now. Important to know. These brain shots can be administered before an exposure, during an exposure, shortly after an exposure, or even days, weeks, or months after an exposure. Now, I'm around a lot of different EMF. I'm around computers, around all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to do this once in a while for me, but there's a lot of brain shots that I like to do. But I love this one. So many details in the books, so that you can read all the details and get the information you need. But it's in here about all of this. Okay. Let's see what we got. Maybe we're going to go and make this shot. And we are going to do that. All right, you guys. EMF 5G exposure shot. Let's go. Let's get the juicer out. As I was saying before, I feel bad for people who have been tricked into juicers that aren't going to save them money. And I do feel bad. The problem is I can't keep up with everything, telling everybody like what they can do, or I'll just be literally talking about the juicer every day. And as much as I want to like get that information out there, it's really hard and I feel bad. This has a compression. This isn't metal grinding, touching each other. This has a compression literally that saves you money so that you get more juice. And when it comes down to any juicing you do, it's critical that you get that juice out. That's the whole point. And that's what the MM1500, 900s do. 20% off right now. I'm letting you know because I feel bad. I see what's happening. And so the sharks have come into the communities. They're selling them bum juicers, in my opinion, that aren't squeezing the juice out. And I feel bad for everybody. So just letting you guys know. Pamela says, yeah, but watch the shark buy the MM1500, but sell the shark brands. I'm sure they already have. I'm sure the sharks are using the MM1500 to save them money. And at the same time, they're selling the crappy brands. So I'm just letting you guys know. Spread the word. And if someone said, well, I've been tricked by the sharks and I got the wrong one, say, well, down the road, when you get the right one, think about how much money you're going to save. And you're going to pay for both the bum juicer that you got and you're going to pay for the good juicer that you got. All right, Here we go. We're making this. This is an interesting one right here. We're going to do with parsley to start with. 1/4 cup of tightly packed parsley. Let's turn this on. It's a quiet juicer, by the way, you guys. It's incredible. 1/4 cup of tightly packed parsley. So I'm packing it in my hand because I kind of, all these years, I know what that is and what that equals. So there we go. Get a little parsley in there. So we're putting a little bit of parsley. Here we go. Now we're peeling a raw potato. I'm going to grab a potato out of my potato bin here. That's a nice potato. Very happy. You want a 1/2 cup potato? I'm going to do a quick peeling right now because I did not peel it ahead of time. And you can cube it. You can kind of chop it up in 1-inch, 1/2-inch cubes, whatever. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm peeling this potato back, getting the skin off because that was the direction from Spirit of Compassion. There we go. All right. I'm cutting up my potato as we speak. This is not a juice. This is a medicinal shot. Brain shot therapy isn't juicing. It's creating medicinal shots. Putting a 1/2 cup of the potato down in here. And then we're going to get a celery stick. 1 stalk of celery stick to 2 stalks. The reason why it's 1 to 2 is someone might have a really small celery stick, which happens. It's really small. Here we go. Amazing. I'm actually really excited about this. Been needing this shot. I've been needing this shot. I really have. There it is. So much of us are surrounded by exposures we just don't understand. Spirit of Compassion has taught us a lot. In these Brain Saver books, you'll get information you've never heard before, so we can be empowered, because that's what it's about. You don't want the wool pulled over your eyes. You don't want the carpet pulled out from underneath your feet. You don't want to be bamboozled and tricked and duped. You want to know what's going on, and you want to know what's happening around you. Here's the first sip. It's incredible how you feel. The results come on. Tingles everywhere. Tingles. The tingles are here for this one. Hitting me now on the second sip. It's hitting me right now on the second sip. Woo! Bartender, give me another. I said, bartender, give me another, please. Incredible, incredible. And I can feel that. There's phytochemical compounds that come from the earth that's in that root. That's in that root right here, in that potato, in that spud that sits down in the earth. And the earth is grounded. It's grounded, you guys. A potato picks up that grounding. But when you put that grounding nature of the potato, Spirit of Compassion says, and you mix it, and no one would ever know this, and you mix that grounding nature of that potato, and you mix it with the trace mineral salts in the celery, so you have the trace minerals with the grounding nature, right? And the rich nutrients of the parsley. When those three are put together, you're arming yourself and protecting yourself from EMF and 5G. It's incredible. I could feel it going down. I'm very in touch with what I put inside my body. I've had to do that my whole life because of the spirit of compassion. And I will tell you that when I was taking down this information and I tried these myself, I was blown off my seat, and I could not wait for you guys to learn about these brain shot therapies. I could not wait. It's a blessing from above, a blessing from God, a blessing. And I'm so happy about these. They're miraculous. I can't say it enough. This has been absolutely incredible, you guys. I don't even know what to tell you. It's been that amazing. And so, listen, all I can say is this is day 4 of the Brain Shot Therapy Cleanse. I got a question from Suze. Can you please describe what the withdrawal symptoms are like? Of course. You can get sadness come over you when the power goes out. Fear come over you. You can also get a sense of feeling like stressed underneath it all. Like the stress starts to build. Even when everything is okay, the stress levels start to increase when the power is out. So stress in the body start to happen. Blood pressure, the pulse tends to go a little higher than normal when the power's out. These are some withdrawals. There's even more. You guys, this is incredible. Medical Medium Brain Shot Therapy Cleanse, day 4. Are you guys going to be with me for day 5? Christy Bacon says, oh my God, I'm crying. Thanks so much, Anthony and SOC. Incredible. Cheryl said I would get about 12 ounces from a whole bunch, but now with the 1500, I get really close to 16 ounces and sometimes more. You guys, the difference is unbelievable. With those other juicers that are broken into the community, the sharks ripping everybody off, you're getting less juice. Cost of produce is up. The cost of food is up. The MM1500 pays for itself. And you know what? It's not about the juicer. It's about all the good stuff and everything else. But I have to talk about the juicer because of what the sharks have done. I thought everybody knew what juicers that were the best. I've been talking about them for a few years now. But I hope people know and spread the word that you're getting ripped off with the other juicers and that this is the one to save up for. It's 20% off right now. I'm letting you know right now. You guys, I'm asking everybody, have you tried the brain shot? What did you feel? What were the results you had that you experienced? Please share a story, a post, a reel at Medical Medium, hashtag Medical Medium, tag Medical Medium. I'll see you tomorrow because we're 5-day of the Medical Medium Brain Shot Challenge, the Brain Shot Therapy Challenge, and I am blown away. I don't even know what else to say. Seriously, hands down, right now, hands down, these will be the best books, and they are now, in all-time health history. I'll tell you, be the judge. Grab one of the Podcast Doctor books and go through those Eat Better books and see there's nothing in there. Grab some of the books that are out there in health and see that there's nothing in there. Read what's in these books and you be the judge and know they're the greatest books of all time history. All the Medical Medium books have been. I can judge it because the information comes from above. I can have my own opinion. You guys will be blown away. This is unbelievable. There's 12 books in one. There's 100 recipes, over 300 symptoms and conditions. There's the brain shot therapies, the heavy metal detox cleanses, all of it. It's incredible. You guys, I'm doing on Telegram exclusive messages, audio messages on Telegram. So I'm doing them almost every day. Exclusive Telegram messages. Sign up to my Telegram so you can hear those messages. I'm not doing them or anywhere else. My God, these shots are unbelievable. They power me up like I can't even tell you. I got to dial it back a little bit. What is going on? These shots are incredible. Who would have ever known that combination and what it does comes from above? That's why. In 15 minutes, I'm going live. In 15 minutes, I'm going live on Dr. Nesbitt's account. He's allowing me to do it. So it's Dr. Nesbitt's TikTok account, which I'm on now, right now. And it's Dr. Nesbitt's Instagram account for some lighthearted fun. Hopefully Dr. Nesbitt doesn't say anything too crazy and too wacko. Hopefully Dr. Nesbitt behaves himself because he's been drinking. So you know what? I'm going live on TikTok in a little bit, where I'm TikTok live now on Dr. Nesbitt's account, but I'm going live again and going live on Instagram. See you guys tomorrow for day 5, the Medical Medium Brain Shot Challenge. These shots are making me go incredibly, electricity moving and everything. We're doing the mold exposure shot tomorrow for day 5. the mold exposure shot tomorrow for day 5. Have your Brain Saver books. Tell everybody about them. It's incredible. Seriously. You guys gonna do the robot with me? I don't even know what I'm doing. These shots are doing it.